The Georgia grand jury that is expected to consider charges against former President Donald Trump and his Republican allies for trying to overturn the 2020 election will be selected Tuesday in Atlanta. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, an elected Democrat, launched the investigation in early 2021 after Trump tried to overturn his defeat in the Peach State with a public and private pressure campaign targeting Georgia election officials, the governor, lawmakers, and prosecutors. A special grand jury previously heard testimony from 75 witnesses, including Trump advisors, his former attorneys, White House aides, and Georgia officials. That panel issued a redacted report with charging recommendations, which will soon be weighed by the new grand jury. Willis has indicated that final decisions could come next month. Throughout the investigation, Trump has vehemently denied wrongdoing, as have his allies who are also under scrutiny. The former president has lashed out at Willis, who is black, calling her racist and a lunatic Marxist. Here's a breakdown of what to expect, what is happening on Tuesday. The new grand jury term begins Tuesday in Fulton County, which includes most of Atlanta and some suburbs. 2 panels will be selected at the downtown Atlanta courthouse, and each panel will have 26 participants, 23 grand jurors, and 3 alternates. One of these panels is expected to handle the Trump probe. Fulton County Superior Court Judge Robert McBurney will preside over the court proceedings on Tuesday. He oversaw the special grand jury that collected evidence in the Trump investigation, and he is also expected to oversee the grand jury that is tasked with making charging decisions in the case. The pool of potential grand jurors will be screened for scheduling conflicts and hardships of serving. Cameras are allowed in the courtroom, though it's unclear how much of the proceedings will be public. President Joe Biden won about 73 of the vote in 2020 in Fulton County. It is a racially diverse county where nearly half of the population is black. When might indictments come? All signs are pointing to final charging decisions coming sometime in August. Willis announced remote workdays for staff in August and asked judges to reduce in-person hearings, likely out of security concerns. She previously alerted local police that possible charges would be announced between July 11 and September 1 to secure an indictment in the Trump investigation. 16 of the 23 voting grand jury members would need to be present. Once that quorum is established, 12 votes would be needed to hand up an indictment. Which charges might be brought early on, Willis said. She was investigating attempts to influence the administration of the 2020 Georgia general election. Her inquiry has steadily expanded over the years and now covers a lot of ground. Willis has said her team was considering a wide array of potential crimes. This included solicitation of election fraud, making false statements to state and local government bodies, conspiracy, racketeering, violation of an oath of office, and involvement in election-related threats. CNN reported in March that prosecutors were eyeing racketeering and conspiracy charges. Prosecutors have notified some key players that they are targets of the investigation. This includes Trump's ex-attorney Rudy Giuliani and 16 GOP activists who served as fake electors, including the Georgia Republican Party chairman. As the probe picked up steam last year, multiple fake electors decided to cooperate with prosecutors. What is the investigation about? After Trump lost the election in Georgia, he launched a multi-pronged effort to overturn the results. This included a pressure campaign targeting key state officials who oversaw the election, including Gov, Brian Kemp, and Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, both Republicans. Trump wanted them to abuse their powers to find enough votes to flip the results or to block Biden's win from being certified. They refused. When these efforts failed, Trump urged Georgia state lawmakers to convene a special session to overturn Biden's victory. Trump allies, including Giuliani, presented bogus claims of voter fraud to the state House and Senate. The Trump campaign, along with outside lawyers who supported their cause, filed meritless lawsuits that unsuccessfully tried to nullify Biden's victory. Now, at the same time, Trump tried to weaponize the Justice Department to help him intervene in the Georgia election. He tried to cajole top Justice Department officials and federal prosecutors in Atlanta into falsely claiming that the election was corrupt and that Biden's victory was tainted by massive fraud. The Trump campaign also recruited a group of GOP activists in Georgia to serve as fake electors who were part of a 7-state scheme to undermine the Electoral College process. These fake electors played a key role in Trump's ill-fated plot to block the election from being certified on January 6, 2021. The next news about privacy activists slam U.S. pact on data sharing. The European Commission has announced a pact with the U.S. to allow easier legal transfer of personal data across the Atlantic. Data privacy activists vowed to challenge the agreement in court. President Joe Biden and EU officials welcomed the deal, which overcame objections about U.S. intelligence agencies' access to European data. The deal ensures Meta, Google, and other tech giants can continue sharing information with the U.S. Two previous attempts to create a legal framework on U.S.-EU data sharing had been shot down in European courts over privacy concerns. Monday's pact aims to ease European concerns over any personal information that ends up shared with U.S. intelligence agencies. Americans are mostly shielded legally from electronic snooping by U.S. spy agencies, but foreigners are not. The U.S. agreement allows Europeans to object if they suspect their data has been collected by American intelligence. A data protection review court made up of us judges will be created to hear the claims. The U.S. Data Privacy Framework, which goes into effect on Tuesday, also pledges only necessary and proportionate data will be collected. EU Justice Commissioner Didier Reynders said the robust agreement meant personal data can now flow freely and safely from Europe to the U.S. But nonprofit group Neu Be On of Your Business, led by Austrian privacy activist Max Schrems, vowed to challenge the decision. Mr. Schrems said in a statement, "Just announcing that something is new, robust, or effective does not cut it before the European Court of Justice. We would need changes in U.S. surveillance law to make this work, and we simply don't have it." Mr. Schrems previously challenged Facebook's storage of data, saying it violated his European privacy rights, and the European Union's top court agreed. President Biden paved the way for the final deal by issuing an executive order in October 2022 requiring us intelligence officials to add more data collection protections while balancing them with national security concerns. Compared with the EU, the US has lenient privacy laws. In May, the EU hit Facebook owner Meta with a $1.03 speed plan, ordering the company to stop sharing European users' data across to the US. Meta has said without a legal outline for data transfers, it would be forced to stop providing its products and services in Europe.